Once again, thank you, ladies, for coming today. We
Yeah,
appreciate
thank
it.
you. Thank you very much for your bid.
Good morning, gentlemen. My name is Curtis Hall. I work at the Sheriff's Office, and I am currently assigned to the duties of a dog warden for us. Give you kind of a rundown for what I've done so far this year. I've handled 345 calls. I've prosecuted 3 dump dog cases, meaning someone's abandoned dogs, and we have prosecuted it with jail time. I have made 300 phone calls this year. I call a lot of people about this stuff. We currently have licensed 9,818 dogs. That includes permanent, 3 years, dangerous dogs, and kennels. This year in regular dog license alone, which is the majority of our funds for the dog shelter, I have sold 8,790 dog licenses, or I have, however you want to say that, I don't know the best way to say it, for a total of 195, 747. I currently have 326 unrenewed dog licenses. I actually think that's under that now. I think I actually might be under 300 as of this morning. I have somewhere around 620, probably 640-ish at this point. So what everybody's wanting to talk about, and this is the important stuff that we needed to get to, and we had some goals set forth in front of us coming up to this point. The financial status with the shelter was a hot button topic when I took my position in July of last year. What we have to understand is on May 16, 2024, long before anybody that's in its current administration at the shelter was in place, the shelter took $130,251 from the general fund for anticipated expenses. After that, I took my position in July 1st. We were able to resolve a large number of dog licenses. Going into the year, we were in a decent position, but we still had no idea of what the year would look like under our current situation. Around October, Shannon was put into his position, and earlier this year, Ellie was put in her position. Those situations have resolved a lot of our issues with funding. Unnecessary spending was sent away. Anything that we needed, we asked for directly, and we tried to get those resources from another point that was less costly. So our current fund balance is 86 as of July 31st, is 86,887. To make payroll, we needed 95,105. We had a projected shortfall of 8,217. Don't panic yet. I got more to come. The projected shortfall is based on the assumptions that we have no more revenue for 2025. That's not going to happen. However, we are expected to have additional funds come through adoption fees, license fees, and donations. Now, we'll show you how that makes sense. But if you go back to the top there, I included the last 2 months of dog license fees. We'll see that it comes out to about $7,800. I'll give you precise, $7,863. So our projected shortfall currently is $354. That's without no donations, and I can tell you now we have donations. Our only current limiting factor, and Denny's going to squirm in his seat when I say this, but I have to say it. Do you want to say it for me, or do you want me to go ahead and say it?
No, you're talking. Go ahead.
We need credit card readers. We need credit card readers. We cannot do this and have the success that's required of us, that you guys are requiring of us without this. A majority of every business in Ashland County, and there's people up here who can say this, they own businesses, is done through credit card revenue. There is no way that this is ever going to go up above that ceiling that we're currently set at of around $200,000, $230,000 without that. I'm not trying to make anybody upset. I'm not trying to make anybody angry. I'm just telling the truth. I'll come back. I have a thing that I want to talk to you guys about, but we'll wait for a little bit. We'll let Shannon give you guys some more information.
Good morning. My name is Shannon Hamilton. I'm the kennel manager at the Ashland County Dog Shelter. So some new stuff for this year. We wanted to let everybody know that we've had no employee turnover for this entire year. So we're staying staffed with a good staff. Some of our statistics for this year, we have brought in 166 total dogs. 6 of those have been transferred in as part of an agency cooperation with other shelters. Due to them helping us out in certain situations, we tried to help them out when they were extremely full, and were set with tough choices to euthanize dogs. So in cooperation with that, we helped bring in a few dogs to our shelter. A lot of the dogs that we did bring in were fully vetted, so we have no cost involved with those dogs, spays, neuters, microchipping, rabies vaccinations, nothing. So when we go to adopt those dogs, it'll purely be covering costs. We haven't put any money in those dogs whatsoever. Currently this year, we have had 72 adoptions. 74 dogs have been reclaimed by their owners. We have sent off 19 dogs to rescue organizations within Ohio. We're still in the same statistic as far as euthanizations. We're still sitting at 4 that were done this year. One of those dogs was a court case. I know the number will come out as 5, but one of those was not on the shelter itself. It was in the court system. And everybody pretty much knows which case that was involved with. Total dogs out of the shelter this year have been 170. That puts our live release rate out of the shelter at 97.65%, which is a very good number. As far as some of the other stuff that we've done, we've had some community engagement stuff that we have done. I think she might have some pictures of some of the stuff that we did. One of the first things that we did this year was the Access Summer Kickoff. That'll be where Deputy Hall got his nice big pie in the face. That image is in here. I think she's got it in there.
I've got.
She's going to pull that one up. So we can see that, as everybody can say, he got blasted pretty good, and she had way too much fun doing it.
That's not illegal.
We also did the Armstrong Outdoor show at the fairgrounds this year, where we took over several dogs, and just getting involved with the community. We also have been doing the Armstrong Community Spotlight quarterly, where Armstrong comes to the shelter, talk about some of the stuff that's going on, show them some dogs, new dogs that have come in. We also do work with WMFD out of Mansfield. We do dog weekly bios, where we send in 2 or 3 dogs. They advertise them on TV, talk about them a little bit to show everybody what's available for adoption. We also did with Ashland County Pictures, when we had Margot that got hit by a car. We tried to help No Paws raise some funds, so we did a live video with Joe from Ashland County Pictures to help bring in some extra funds, because there was a very high expense involved with getting her fixed up for the year. So the next thing we're going to go on to is I'm going to introduce Ellie. She's going to talk to you about a couple of the programs that we have going on this year and some of the results of those programs. So I'm going to let Ellie step up and
Yeah, so you guys understand, Ellie's job is programs, making dogs adoptable, so medical, stuff like that. So
Hi, everybody. My name's Ellie Powell. I'm the assistant kennel director. I am working on programs. So one of our main programs that we instituted this year was a foster program. I'm happy to report that all the dogs that have been in that foster program, except for one, have been fostered to adopt. So those are getting dogs in your home, living your lifestyle, getting used to your kids, your pets, your lifestyle, and making them to where they're really, truly amazing dogs. So some of these pictures above are from Playgroup. So we are introducing dogs on a more regular basis to each other, allowing playtimes. Playgroup offers a lot of mental enrichment, socialization that we're finding dogs are lacking.
Wish I knew you had a pool. There's a couple of days I'd have jumped in that one.
Thank goodness you didn't know.
That's what you were gonna say.
But it's something that we've instituted that has helped make our dogs more adoptable. We're able to showcase that, hey, you know, this dog plays amazing with other dogs. She'll be great at the dog park. She'll be great to go to doggy daycare. She would love to go on walks with you, whatever the case may be. And then we can also, we're doing it in a very safe manner. All the dogs have leashes on, and we work on, we have tools and stuff that help navigate the dogs if they do get a little rough and rowdy with each other, to break that off and help teach the dogs how to play with each other. Something else that we've instituted this year that I had a big part in was Lyme's testing. So we've used approximately 41 tests with 15 positive dogs, coming out to 36% of dogs are testing positive for Lyme's disease. 2 of these dogs that we had tested beforehand, before the whole system Lyme's testing, actually had a fatal type of Lyme's disease. So that was really the Kickstarter for this whole program, is to get dogs Lyme's tested. We are seeing an increase in the county. So showing that 36% of our dogs are positive and have received treatment while in care. Agency cooperations. So that kind of goes back to playgroup. So when we first started looking at playgroup, it was a little unreasonable at first because there is a program that will come out and train you. We looked at some of the neighboring counties who have done playgroup and kind of went and watched them, learned from them. So in turn, we helped them. But agency cooperation, so we worked with Wayne County in pulling 3 dogs. Recently, we pulled 3 dogs from city dogs in Cleveland who are facing astronomical euthanasia rates. But agency cooperations are also working with hospitals, VAs, and mental health institutes to provide temporary care for dogs owners who are in circumstances such as those. We take care of those dogs for that time period and then figure out how to get them back reunited with their owners. As for 2026, we are looking at a veteran service dog program of matching companion animals with veterans. We have trainers who are willing to help either train the dog in companionship or slight detection of whether it's a diabetes dog, epilepsy dog, something like that. There will be some sponsorships, hopefully, with this program that makes this a free program.
Yeah, so I think Shannon, I gotta give Shannon credit for this. He thought of this after working with some of the veterans we work with through the Agency Cooperation Program. There are several veterans organizations that want to talk to us about this. I think we're waiting on some stuff from the prosecutor's office to verify how we can make this work. We can definitely get, this won't be coming out of our fund. This will be coming out of sponsorship, and we're looking to try to do 5 dogs a year. That will put a veteran with a dog to little or no cost to them, and then we would actually send it to a vendor, get trained, and they would get a trained dog. So that's another 5 dogs a year coming out of the shelter and going to a good home.
Is there a certain type of breed that looks better?
So we talked to, Curtis had a gentleman come in that actually does dog training. So he's given us kind of his parameters of what he looks for in a dog. So basically when this program kicks off, we will have a checklist of things to look at, of what would make a dog successful. It's not breed specific to any specific dog. It's just a dog that will meet certain criteria, for his training method, to match this dog. And it'll be something that we could go through the shelter ourselves, myself and Ellie, we'll be able to go through and we can check on things on the list that he's looking for and say, hey, we have a dog that met 8 out of the 10 criteria for you. Is this a dog that you're interested in working with? Do you think it'll be successful? And he'll give us a better idea of what he thinks of each specific dog, but it's not breed specific.
I have gotten multiple since this has come out that we're trying to do this. Veterans saying that they'll help volunteer to make this work. Well, Ben was one of them too. Yeah. So Ben, we helped. I can't really say his name, but we helped a guy in a situation, and he takes better care. He takes incredible care of his dogs. Incredible care. But this is a huge thing. This would be something that really makes a difference in our community, and something we can really be proud of if we can get it to work.
As for some upcoming events, we are looking at tomorrow going to Mapleton Schools for their career and volunteer day. The Lions Club on September 3rd. We will have a booth at the Ashland County Fair, the 14th through the 20th. And then we are also looking at doing a Halloween trunk or treat adoption event. Rescues collide, so we are looking at getting multiple rescues located within the county and possibly some pet stores to do a trunk or treat dog costume event, kid costume event.
Which building will you be in at the county fair? Gold building or?
It's the one, I honestly don't know. It's under the Grand
They
State
brought
Road.
up the Grand
Under
Oh,
the Grand.
okay.
We're not sure if it'll be the same one this year or not.
I was told that we have a normal booth this year. We were in the corner last year. But I don't know what that means. So. Okay.
And as far as you'll see their assets for us for this year, we got a used Ford Explorer. We've run into some transportation issues sometimes. Sometimes I need a vehicle, sometimes she needs a vehicle. So we were able to work with the commissioners on getting a Ford Explorer, a used one, just to help us out with our transportation issues. We've got a new computer for our animal care room. And then also, Sherry worked very hard this year on getting us a website started up, so we actually have our own domain page. It is Ashland County Dog Shelter, or ashlandcountydog.shelter.org. So you can actually type that in the search bar, and it'll take you directly to the dog shelter page. Where you can see what dogs are available for adoption, licensing. We'll be adding new stuff as we get going. It's still
Shannon,
kind of a work in
I'll get
progress.
closer to the mic. I'm getting a message that we're not quite hearing you
Oh,
well.
okay.
Sorry.
Do you want me to go through the whole?
Yeah, go up to the mic.
Yep.
Hear that,
Do that
grab the
again.
mic.
please.
Okay, so we'll go through that again. The assets acquired in 2025. We ran into a transportation issue because of Ellie and I needing a vehicle at the same time. So we talked to the commissioners. The commissioners helped us get a used Ford Explorer to use down at the shelter. We also got a computer for our animal care room so that on weekends and stuff like that, Ellie has access to a room where she can add in information of new dogs coming in, vaccination records, things along those lines. And we also got our website started. It is ashlandcountydogShelter.org. It's still kind of a work in progress. We're still adding new things to it. And that's pretty much everything we have for our part this year.
What was the flavor of pie?
I
think it was.
don't know. It hit me so hard I couldn't taste it.
I think it was banana.
Yeah, I think it tastes a lot like blood after it hit me.
There's the one other thing. If
So-
you guys want to see this, so we can talk about this.
This is
Get
one
up
of
closer
our
to the
Yeah,
mic.
get closer, Mike, please.
This is one of our dogs who was adopted, and he is being trained by a Knox County sheriff in search and rescue. So this is one of the videos showing him doing his kind of thing, and it just goes to show that these shelter dogs can be trained, are amazing working dogs, have high drive, and really want to succeed and do what they're made to do.
There-
So this is another agency cooperation situation that we did. We got contacted for, which county was it? Knox. Knox County Sheriff's Office wanting to work with this dog and a foster, so we gave it to them in a foster capacity. They could make a decision whether they can work with it or bring it back. They had no, it gave them an opportunity to get a dog. If it didn't work, they could just bring it back. We'd do something with it. And it ended up getting adopted, and then it's now working in the capacity of a search and rescue dog. I mean,
Way cool.
it's so cool to see, and I know you guys all know that I worked dogs for a long time. I've been in that situation where the dog's well ahead of you, and you're like, oh man, you're just running to try to find it. But this is another one of those cool things that we get to do as a shelter. It's a credible job. You could just help somebody and see if it works out, and if it doesn't, bring the dog back, right?
Okay, any questions?
I think I'm good for now.
Okay.
I just, it's just amazing to me, truly, that 1 year, how the face of this dog show has completely changed because of you three. It's an amazing feat in my eyes. I didn't expect it to jump off the table like this quickly, but I cannot tell you how much you three have done an amazing job for the County of Ashland and the dog shelter. I know there are continuing things we are working on as we go forward, but as everybody can see, from the financial side to the care of the dogs to the adoptions, everything has gone way, way above expectations. I mean, you guys are doing a tremendous job, and I can't thank you three enough. I know working with you is sometimes a challenge that you have to work with me on some things. We don't always agree on the direction of the dog shelter with this board and myself, but we always come to an answer, and it always seems to be the best for the shelter. And can't thank you folks enough. It's just unbelievable what you've done in the past year.
I have one question. People have been really concerned about the heat. What have you done to alleviate the heat situation with the dogs to make it?
So basically what we did is the entire building is air conditioning except for the actual pods where the dogs are kept. So this year we had conversations with Denny when the heat temperature started to get a little high. So what we have done is we leave our pod doors open and we use an industrial fan to pull air conditioning out of the hallways of the shelter and then into the pods. We've been able to, even through our heat wave, the average temperatures were about 78 degrees, which was pretty comfortable. The only times that the temperatures would get a little moving around into the upper 80s would be, we got to about 80 was where we were when people are coming in to walk dogs, when run doors are getting opened, when there's a lot of traffic of doors opening up. I think really at the hottest moments, some of them might have hit 81, but we've just during volunteer hours, it was hitting in the 80s. But once we get everything buttoned back up, temperatures run between 77 and 78 degrees. So it's just basically pulling air through the building.
What we found out our problem was, which I should have known last year, was those pods have an air exchange of 9 times an hour. Okay, that's year round. In the winter time, we have a little heater that tempers the air, because obviously all that air comes from outside. It all comes from top of the building. So in the wintertime, we're fine because we temper it. In the wintertime or summertime, we've got to shut it off. That's why we struggled to keep the temperature down. Once we shut those off, the reason that those are there is for the health of the dogs and the staff. But in the summertime, when it gets that hot, we just shut them off. We put fans in there, and so that's why last year was a struggle, because I wasn't smart enough to shut the exchange fans off. And that's really all we had to do. So we've got to figure it out this year. Shannon and I just there one day, I thought, this is really stupid. We're never going to cool it down. And you couldn't air condition it enough when you exchange outside air on top of a building 9 times an hour. You can't make air conditioner big enough.
And the top of the building is full. That just
So.
we figured that out as well.
Yeah. So yeah, we got to figure it out. And so we really don't, I mean, if somebody wanted to donate, we could put air conditioning in those, but it doesn't make any financial sense because the cost for the county on electric bill at that point would be tremendous. I know there has been discussion of raising funds to air condition them. But the real cost would be obviously the running on those. But we found a way to do that. Electric bill went up a little bit, not a lot. So it really worked out really well. Thank you though for that. Good question. But we did catch a lot of grief over that last year. Rightly so.
So do you know what the average temperatures are for other kennels? Is there a rough guess on that? Because that's been a big topic.
Yeah.
So every building is different. When I was doing the tours, I think you guys are aware, when I first took over, I went to tours of a bunch of places, just walked around. And we're not any real difference. Some places are better suited for that. Some places got air conditioners, some places don't. Some people are Humane Society, some people are county shelters. What we have to focus on for us is finding creative problem solving and doing what's best for our shelter and what works for our funds, our dogs, our staff. So we really have to do what we've been doing, is going through the problem solving, investing time and thought into fixing our own problems, whether that may be at some point raising that money and looking at that option, or we might just use this air conditioning system for a while until we get those funds ourselves. I mean, I think we've all agreed that we just need some time to run it properly, to build the community trust, get the license situation taken care of, and we're going to be fine. It's all going to work out someday, I promise. We just need time. We just need time to be consistent, to be a good organization. You know what I mean? Like, so we've done it in a year, but we need to do it for 3. Like, we need to just be patient and operate the shelter for 3 years and see at the end of that 3 years how good it really is. And at that point, make some changes, do some things that we can. I mean, the funds will be there eventually. People will help us if that's the right thing to do, right? Like, so I know it's kind of crazy to hear a cop saying, everybody calm down. But it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine. We got the recipe. We just got to go cook the food now, right? We just got to go do it.
And I will say that there's still events that come up to us that we are still trying to figure out how to handle. And we are still putting procedures together when we hit an event that we have not had before. So then we put procedures for those, written procedures, so the next time it comes up, that we know exactly how it's to be handled through written policy. So we're still going through some of that. It's always amazing. You think you got everything covered, then something comes up, oh, didn't see that coming, and so it's a work in progress. And eventually we'll have most of them covered. We're still working through some of those incidents on, especially, we've talked about here recently about, we have a dog that got hit, okay, on the road. Well, we have No Paws that does a lot of the medical stuff, and we go get it. We don't know who the owner is. Who pays for the medical expense? No Paws, it's a county. So you have an incident, okay, we got $2,000 put in a dog to keep it alive. Well, if No Paws can't put, is it the county's responsibility when we don't know who the owner is? And it's really an old dog, or is it a young dog? It's just all kinds of scenarios that you run into that we have to get policy on. Okay, what's our limit? How are we handling this? What's best for the dog? How do we find the owner? Because people don't realize that dogs are people's personal property. So when we take a dog in, it's not ours. We're kind of just holding it for that person until we find them. And so then we find a person, well, what if they don't have the money to pay the dog to save it? So there's all those kind of incidents that we run into, trying to figure out, okay, what's going to be the big policy going forward on these incidents? We're putting a dollar figure on. No Paws has been a tremendous help over the years for that. But like most organizations, it's hard to keep it going for 20 years, So, we talked about the other day, No Paws isn't there, which gives us thousands of dollars a year for medical, thousands. If they go away, if they decide to disband, how are we going to handle that going forward? Because we don't have the funding for that. So how do we do that? How do we start building figuring that out now, it's like 5 or 10 years down the road. If they're not there, we have an idea how to handle that. So yeah, there's tons of stuff happening every day that we are still trying to figure out. But we always come to a conclusion. I mean, it always seems to work out really well. We put all of our heads together. We talk to the board, talk to the sheriff, so then we get at least a good starting point of what we think, how that incident should be handled going forward.
Well, we belabored this meeting a little bit longer than I thought, but I have to say one more thing. I made a call to Shannon and from a Pathfinder group, and they are going to do a tour. I would kind of like to make it known that you do that for groups that want to come out, and I know they're making biscuits for the dogs before they come.
Yep.
So, and the young people will get a chance to see how it runs and what happens with the
They
dogs. So,
absolutely will.
very appreciative of that, and I would encourage other groups to do that.
Yep.
All right, I think that's it for today. We look forward to seeing you next Thursday. We are done
Great
for the day.
weekend.
Yep.